The first screen you'll come to when you click on your selected free trial package is this one. What you need to do is log in at the bottom left hand side with your Rovello username and password. If you've forgotten your password, you can reset it by clicking on the blue key here. So do that and then click the blue login button. The first page you'll be presented with when you open the drink Stocktake package is the inventory screen that you'll see here. And as usual, step one is to enter your Rovello username correctly in that first box to ensure that we allocate the information received to the correct contract. It makes an interesting point at the top here. Don't use the Stocktake system until it's fully loaded, and it may take up to a minute. This is a pretty big package, as you can see. There's a number of tabs across the top, and it may take a while depending on your broadband link. So it should look like this before you start inputting any information. If it doesn't, if there's bits missing or there's some colours in some of the top boxes not filled in, then just give it another 30 seconds or so and it'll be fully loaded. What we're not going to attempt to do with this tutorial video is tackle the whole package, because though it is very simple and straightforward to use, there is quite a lot to it, and we find by far the best way to learn how to use it is by trial and error. And as such, what we recommend everybody does is just have a go. Input your figures, count your stock, have a go, see how it works, see how it presents the information back to you, and then if you do have any problems, we'd be delighted to deal with them for you on a one-to-one. Probably the best way is to email us at help@rovello.co.uk and let us know what the issues are, and we can get straight back to you and solve them on a one-to-one basis. But broadly speaking, tab number 1, inventory, is about you just listing all the drinks that you actually have in your business. And as you can see by scrolling down here, we have added the most popular lines to make it easy for you. But it's a simple case if you've got anything else that you want to include. I already have, as you can see, blogs down the bottom there, or Smith's drinks I've added myself. Make sure that when you put the size in, that it is similar, or I should say the same format as used above. So if it's 1.5 litre, put 1.5 LTR. How much you then pay for the bottles, and how much you charge for them. Now, if at any time you should want to make changes other than just changing the names of the brands, which you can do here, for instance, if you wanted to delete any of them, you can. If you actually wanted to change the size measurements, for instance, then you go to the settings tab up here, and you'll see when you get to the settings tab, this really is where you can change any of the measurements in the Stocktake, starting off with VAT at the top at 20%, moving down to the units and measure and so on. So please remember not to try and attempt to change them in the boxes themselves. Now, the other tabs are reasonably self-explanatory and I won't dwell on them too much, but budget is starting off with what you feel you should take in a month. So I've actually added 20,000 in here, but it's perfectly easy to change that to whatever sales you may budget for your month, how many weeks you have in that month, any updates as usual with the multi-page Rovello packages, click an update and it will populate all the information for you here based on deliveries and so on. Opening stock, that's where you actually physically count how many you've got in the cellar, and I've just jotted a couple in here, but the same format works. How many you've got in the cellar, how many you've got in the front of the bar or restaurant, and then how many you've got opened. Month 1 is your sales month. Clearly, if you decide to stay with Rovello over a period of time, then we can pre-populate the previous month into here, or we can compare it accordingly to ensure that your stocks are being monitored effectively. One addition here clearly is the deliveries that you've received on those different lines, and the important box as well is down the bottom here. You'll see where I've added in here 18,000. This is where you actually add your sales for the period. So in other words, all your weeks added together. Click update there. Moving back up, closing stock. So again, physical count of how many you actually have in your premises, cellar, front of bar or restaurant, pub, and open. What it will then do, when you put all that information in, and as again I make the point, I'm just zipping through this very quickly, and as you can see, to do a full count will be obviously dependent on how many drinks you have in your business. But what it'll then do is summarize a screen for you which gives you end of month total with your actual revenues, delivery costs, and so on. And finally, if you wish, you can use the quick ready key lines page for you to count those key lines as you go along over the weeks to ensure that members of staff, heaven forbid, aren't helping themselves or you're losing them for many other means. So that's really it. A very brief run through, as I've said again. Best thing to do, log in, get counting, get using. Any problems, let us know. But other than that, have fun. Thank you.